Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Friday, April the 26th. We got a full MLB slate for Friday, 15 gamer. I'm going to go through the pitcher player pool, talk about some of the pitchers that I like on this 15 game slate. Of course, I will give my two core pitchers, and then we'll talk about some of the other ones that I'll be looking to. I'll give three hitters that I like, and then we will go over stacks and BVP plays. We'll cover BVP at the end of the video. Just before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. But starting off at the top of the pitcher player pool, Max Scherzer is our most expensive option today. He's 10,400, gets a matchup at home against the Padres. I do really like Scherzer today. He's probably going to be one of my higher owned pitchers. He's not going to be like my highest owned pitcher, because I think James Paxton for $800 less in a matchup with the Giants is like my top pitcher today. But I do like Scherzer quite a bit. DeGrom at 10K against the Brewers is probably like a tournament play, like a guy that I would go overweight on if he's going to be low owned. Like if DeGrom's going to be like 10-15% owned, I'd probably play him in like 20% of my lineups, but he's not going to be like a core pitcher for me. I expect Scherzer and Paxton to be the two guys I really look to if I'm paying up. Paxton for sure at 9,600 on DraftKings. I love. On Yahoo, he's 56, where Scherzer is 61 and DeGrom is 60. I think he's the top pitcher on Yahoo as well. It's just such a good matchup for James Paxton. Facing this Giants team that's just terrible versus lefties, has plenty of strikeouts in their lineup as well. If we pull up the projected lineup for the Giants, a lot of Ks here, kind of from top to bottom. A low implied run total as well, just a 3.2 implied run total for the Giants. It's a great pitcher's park. Paxton going to be pitching in Oracle Park in the Giants ballpark, which is one of the more pitcher-friendly parks. I think honestly both pitchers in this game you could look to Bumgarner as well versus this Yankees lineup. But Paxton's a guy that I really like. A lot of strikeout upside here. Been pitching very well lately. Last two games he's got 12 strikeouts in both games against the Royals and against the Red Sox. So at 9,600, where he's cheaper than Scherzer and cheaper than DeGrom on DraftKings, I think Paxton clearly stands out as the top pitcher on the slate. Then for SP2, I think there's a lot of ways you can go. If you want to like try and fit in another mid-tier play, you could look to a guy like Madison Bumgarner on the other side of that game. I wouldn't mind going there. I think if we look down to like this 8K, 7K range, there's definitely some good plays here. Max Fried at 8K at home against the Rockies, I think is a really good play. Hyun-Jin Ryu at 8,200 against the Pirates, I wouldn't mind going to. McHugh, Rodon as well. McHugh against the Indians, Rodon against the Tigers. Two guys you could look to in that mid-range. If we're talking about value pitchers, I think Kikuchi at 7K against the Rangers at home is definitely a guy we could look to for like a value play. Martin Perez as well as a value play, I do like quite a bit. He's only 6,800 on DraftKings, and over on Yahoo, he's one of the cheaper available pitchers. He's at $27, just $2 off of minimum price. Perez has a really good matchup here, facing this Orioles team that we know strikes out a lot and just has a really bad lineup overall. Versus the lefties, this is a team that does have a lot of Ks in their lineup. Perez is getting some support from Vegas, just a 3.9 implied run total for the Orioles today. He's a minus 198 favorite as well. So it's very likely he's able to get a win with Alex Cobb pitching for the Orioles. The Twins should be able to rough up Alex Cobb and give Perez some run support. If he can go 6 innings and get like 5 or 6 strikeouts with 1 or 2 runs allowed and pick up a win, he could probably easily finish with about 23, 24 DraftKings points and be one of the top pitcher values. So at 6,800 on DK, I like Martin Perez quite a bit. He's been improving lately as well. He's not the gas can that he used to be. He's been throwing a lot harder. His velocity's been up, so I like playing him here on DraftKings and on Yahoo, where he's just so cheap and the matchup's so good. I think he's a value play that really stands out. But those are kind of the pitchers I'm looking at today. I kind of talked about the ones, or I hit on them real quickly, but we'll go over them one more time. So if I'm paying up, my two favorite plays are definitely Scherzer and Paxton, with Paxton being my preferred option. And then DeGrom, if he's going to be low owned, I think is a really good like tournament play. In cash games, though, I don't think you want to play DeGrom. I think you either want to get to Scherzer or go to Paxton in cash games. For SP2s, guys you could look to for tournaments like SP2s, Bumgarner 8,700, McHugh 8,300, Ryu at 8,200, Rodon 8,100, Fried 8K. I think all those 4 guys are pretty good plays. All 4 of those guys will definitely be in my player pool for today. If we're talking about value, I really like Kikuchi at 7K against the Rangers. I like Martin Perez at 6,800 quite a bit. Those are guys you can look to for value if you're trying to pay up for bats, if you want to get some more expensive bats in your lineup. But I think that is it for pitcher. Let's go over some hitters now, talk about some of the bats that I'll be looking to on this slate. So we'll start off at the outfield. I really like the Twins today versus Alex Cobb. They're getting a lot of support from Vegas here, a 5.7 implied run total versus Cobb. That's the highest on the slate. Some of these Twins bats really stand out. We'll start off with Eddie Rosario. On DraftKings, he's expensive at 5,300, but since we went with Perez as a value pitcher, and since Paxton's like 9,600, which I think is way too cheap, you still can easily fit in Twins bats with Paxton and Perez. So Rosario going up against Cobb, great matchup. Cobb gives up a lot of home runs, doesn't get strikeouts. Just a great spot in general for the Twins. I think Rosario is one of the better plays on DraftKings in the outfield if you can pay up. He definitely stands out. And then another guy I really like, he's a little bit cheaper than Rosario, is Nelson Cruz. He's 4,700 on DK. I really like him on Yahoo. If we look at the outfield over here, Rosario is 26, whereas Cruz is $4 cheaper down there at 22. Cruz definitely stands out on Yahoo where he's 22. Kind of the same thing goes for Cruz as it did for Rosario. Just a good matchup with Alex Cobb. A pitcher that gives up home runs to both sides of the plate. Doesn't really get strikeouts. Twins should be able to rough him up here. The Twins do have a lot of power at the top of their lineup. Rosario and Cruz, obviously, 2 really good power bats from that lineup. And then Max Kepler is a guy I want to talk about on Yahoo. I think he's a good play on DraftKings as well. On Yahoo, he's all the way down here at $16. He should be leading off for the Twins. Definitely stands out as a good value. 4,200 on DK. You could also look to him. He will be a part of my Twin stacks. I'm going to be stacking up the Twins quite a bit on the slate. Kepler's a guy that I really like on both sides if you need a cheaper play. First base, we're going to go over here. On Yahoo at first base, a play that I really like sort of as a one-off. Don't think I'm going to be stacking up the Braves today, but Freddie Freeman at just $18 on Yahoo. I like quite a bit here versus Senzatella. Braves do have a higher run total, 4.8 implied run total, so they're not the worst stack, but where you have some cheaper prices, I think that's where you really want to look to. We'll pull up the Yahoo salaries, like Albies at 17, Freeman at 18. Those are definitely good plays. I don't think I'd be full stacking the Braves today, but Freeman and Albies on Yahoo definitely stand out with their prices. The wind is blowing out to center, 13 miles per hour, so that should help with hitting. Relatively warm as well, so pretty decent hitting weather here. So I really like some of these Braves bats, especially like the top of the lineup, but bottom of the lineup I would probably avoid the 1 through 4 if you want to stack the Braves. Those are probably the guys I would look to. But now going back over to DraftKings to fill out my 5 plays, we're going over to third base. On DK, I really like Matt Carpenter as a third base play. He's 4,100. Really like him in this matchup versus Descafani, and I think some of these Cardinals bats are definitely in play versus Descafani. Don't think I'm going to be full stacking the Cardinals because their lineup is not that good, especially when you get from 5 to 9. But the 1 through 4 with Carpenter, Goldschmidt, DeYoung, and Ozuna, I do like quite a bit. These guys are very expensive though, which makes it tough to stack them. But Carpenter you have leading off at 4,100 makes a ton of sense as a one-off. Makes a ton of sense as a cash game play. He's had a lot of success versus Descafani as well. Got the BVP. He's 9 for 20 with 3 home runs. Paul Goldschmidt's also hit Descafani well, 7 for 11 with a home run. But Carpenter I love here. Descafani's not that good of a pitcher. He will give up power to lefties, and Carpenter we obviously know has a lot of power from the left side. So at 4,100 on DK, I do like him quite a bit. But these are my 5 plays for DK today, guys, and these are my 5 plays for Yahoo. Now we'll quickly go over some of the stacks I'll be looking to on this slate. Then we'll talk about BVP before we end the video. So I've said it multiple times, but my favorite stack by far is the Twins today. 5.7 implied run total versus Alex Cobb. Very hard to get away from some of these Twins bats. You even have some like value with CJ Cron at 4K, Marwin Gonzalez at 3,300. It's got some cheap bats in there as well. You don't have to like fit in all these crazy expensive hitters. Cruz and Rosario and Polanco are expensive, but Kepler's only 4,200, Cron's 4K, Gonzalez 3,300. There's plenty of value there as well. Looking to some other teams that we could stack. The Mariners versus Shelby Miller, I think are definitely a team you want to keep on your radar. 4.9 implied run total, not the highest, but Shelby Miller is just a really bad pitcher. Probably the worst pitcher on this slate, honestly. So he's a guy I would look to stack up against. Some of these Mariners bats have nice prices as well. Encarnacion only 4,400. Jay Bruce 4,600 if he's in the lineup is a really good play. Tim Beckham just 4K. Do like some of those Mariners bats to go along with some Twins bats. Like the 1 through 4 from the Cardinals you could look to. The 1 through 4 from the Braves as well, the top of their lineup. Another stack I would consider. Those are probably all the stacks I'll be looking to. Maybe some Phillies bats versus Jose Urena, but they'll be towards the bottom of my list. The teams I've talked about, those are the teams that are going to be towards the top and going to be a part of my core. But now going over BVP plays, there's only a couple of them. I will go over them real quickly. Bryce Harper, 3 for 11 versus Jose Urena. Nick Williams, he probably won't even be in the lineup, but he's 3 for 12 with 2 home runs off of Urena. Will Myers, 4 for 13, 2 home runs off of Max Scherzer. Xander Bogaerts, 6 for 12 with a home run off Charlie Morton. Christian Yelich, 14 for 32 off of Jake DeGrom. Mike Trout, 6 for 14 with a home run off Danny Duffy. And then I mentioned these 2 Cardinals guys. They've hit DeSclafani well. Matt Carpenter, 9 for 20 with 3 home runs off DeSclafani. And Paul Goldschmidt, 7 for 11 with the home run off DeSclafani. So those are some BVP plays for today, guys. I think that is it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed, make sure you click that like button down below. And make sure you subscribe if you have not already. And like always, if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Or like always, you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT if you do have any questions. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Good luck tonight. Peace.